First, I would like to thank you for coming to Dash Radio and Area Electronic, AOE Radio on Dash Dance X, and welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes,
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, so, of course, as mentioned earlier in the lobby, talking about where you come from. So can you tell us about where you're from and just a little background on from then and now that you're in LA, that whole thing?
A lot has happened since then, but I was born in Iran. I was living in Tehran for the first 7 years of my life.
Wow.
And living there, it's honestly a completely different life. I've been thinking about this a lot lately just because now I am in LA and I'm really living all the dreams that I thought I could never have. Because as a kid in Iran, especially being a girl, it was never even an option to dream about being a musician, being an artist, or pursuing anything creative. That was just never on the table. That was never even something that I could be like, oh, one day that's my biggest dream.
Yeah.
So basically, when I was 7 years old, my family moved to Canada, and they moved because they had 2 girls, and they wanted to give us a chance to be able to do what we want in our lives, because as women living in Iran, you don't really have many options, or you can't really get that far in your career. We basically moved when I was 7, and being able to come out to Canada really gave me the freedom to be who I want to be.
Cool, man. How is the music over there? Like your musical influences coming up, or maybe you can talk about a little bit about your name and where that comes from.
Oh, Nostalgix?
Yes.
Nostalgix is something that honestly came to me. I like to think of it as if the name found me, because I was never really searching for a name. I wasn't trying to think of anything.
Yeah.
But it was in my first year of university where I was sitting down. I was working on something for school, but that week I was gonna go buy a mixer, a DJ mixer.
Yeah.
And I just thought of the name. It came to me. I just really like the word nostalgia, and I was like, I really like this. And there's just so much you can do with it.
Yeah, that's the best way to come up with your artist name.
And I feel like with nostalgia, the idea of nostalgia, it just means something different to everyone.
True.
So I feel like if anything, I've really grown into Nostalgix, and it just is who I am today.
Yeah, I love that. I know that you were heavily influenced by hip hop, and you've mentioned before that you watched a lot of MTV music videos. Do you have any favorite ones that really stick out to you, that you love?
Yes. Okay. I gotta say, Britney Spears was just massive in Iran, and that's all you would see on cable. I would always just go to my grandparents' house. I'd be sitting down and I'd be watching MTV music videos, and Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, they were two of my favorite people. But I think it was the Oops, I Did It Again?
Oops, I Did It Again.
Yeah, that video.
Yeah.
That was just so iconic and cool, and I don't know, just the fashion, the music, all of it was so cool and different.
Yeah, I love that, the fashion, especially from the 90s, it's back, all the colors, and I love, your aesthetic, your outfits, your music videos, super cool, yeah.
Thank you.
When it comes to music, do you have, what's the life-changing moment, let's say, in your music career that really just, started that whole momentum of you just going for it?
Well, I think I have a moment that just pops into my head. So
Okay.
I'm like, that's the moment.
Yeah, what's the moment?
But basically, I was at Shambhala Music Festival. I believe it was 2019. So not that long ago, but
yeah.
AC Slater was playing. And during his set, we were all standing on the pagoda. Amazing times. We were all just having so much fun. It was a lot of the Night Bass crew.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't have any music out yet with Night Bass, but I had a song signed that was gonna be coming out later in the year, and AC Slater plays my song "Mind Tricks" featuring Way on the pagoda, and I'd never heard my music played in front of a crowd yet, or on a stage like that before. So just. And he pulls me up, does a whole shout out and everything, and I was just wait, what?
Yeah, wow.
And
That's amazing.
just seeing people dancing to my music and seeing that reaction just really gave me a lot of clarity to be okay, you're you're in the right place, you're doing the right thing with your life, and everything is working out.
Dang,
Awesome.
yeah, I know. And
Great.
then you went on tour with him, right?
Yeah.
I remember. And then it's just crazy. You got into like Confession, and that was a huge influence too in your life. And look at you now. You're on tour, right?
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how that's been like? I know you still have many dates coming up, and how's it been?
Honestly, touring has been the best thing ever. It's been really crazy to get back into it because I've been so used to just being in the studio every single day. And now touring is like, you're out on the road. Like, I've done weekends where it's been like a show in like 3 different states. And it's just so cool because you go somewhere different and you get to see people that really love your music and they're big fans of your music. And they come out. They know the lyrics, they know the songs, they're so excited, and it's like somewhere you've never been before, and it's just so cool. Like,
What's your favorite tour snack? Do you have
tour
one?
snack? I honestly love vegetables. Like I love.
Like what's on the rider? Like
I always get like veggies on the rider, and I love broccoli with ranch. That is just so good.
promoting
How
good
no one
health.
else-
You guys see
Super
what?
healthy.
No one else really says that on tour, but I love some good veggies. I can't.
So if you're listening
Can't deny
and
it.
you're gonna go see her, bring her the veggies.
It does make me happy.
Yeah, seriously, that's great. And you were talking about like being in the studio all the time before, especially like during pandemic and all that stuff. What's your creative process like when you make music? I'm very curious.
It's all over the place. So I like to just get ideas down. That's my big thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get inspired by some drums, like a weird sample I find. Sometimes it's like a random sample I hear online. I'm like, oh, that could be something that could be really cool in a song. Or sometimes I'll just sit down and like freestyle some vocals.
Yeah.
And then that ends up leading to a song. But for me, it's really about like finding one little idea, and then once I have something that I like, I can just quickly turn that into an entire song. And yeah.
Cool. Is there anything you
That's the
do
process.
like to get you kind of like in the, what's it called? Like, do you do any like studio rituals, or are you a morning person, a night person?
I've learned lately I'm a morning person, but because of touring, I think I'm a night person again. Kind of both.
24/7.
24/7. But I love getting to the studio like early in the morning. Like I like to wake up at 8 a.m. and not touch my phone for the first like 3 hours of the morning.
Okay.
And those hours are kind of just my time to, be disconnected and have like a fresh mind and just go in and make music.
That's self-care.
Yeah.
Okay. You do anything like to maintain like physical balance, mental balance, things like that?
Yeah, so I also in the mornings, 8 a.m., before I get into the studio, I'll do gratitude practice, where I like to sit down and like write down a few things I'm grateful for and just some positive affirmations to start the day.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, I like to work out at night. And I feel like those are just things that help me stay on top of everything I'm doing, like mental health, physical health, everything. Because in the mornings, I feel like if you wake up and you're thinking about the things you're grateful for, the things that you have in your life, you just start off on a better note than like waking up and something doesn't go the right way and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, like wake up with like a like first thing you look is like notifications and like Instagram, social media. So that's really, really cool.
I mean, it's definitely a process to like get used to that, because I
Yeah.
think we're also used to like getting on our phones first
Yeah,
thing in the
man.
morning.
Yeah, seriously.
And like seeing what's happening in the world. But if you can just disconnect yourself for a little bit, like I find that just leaves me being the happiest every day.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I know you have a lot, cooking, a lot of new music and things that I definitely want to hear you talk about. If there's anything you can share, because I don't know, like, if it's a secret or when it's the announcements. But can we talk about some of the stuff you have going on?
Yes, of course. Well, I'm always working on new music and creating, because that's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm working on just some very special records where I'm working with singers, rappers, and different producers and
Name drop. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
no name drops. But I can say that you guys will be hearing it in the fall.
Okay.
The first kind of bit of that. And 2022, there's going to be a lot of new music, creative direction, everything. I'm working a lot on like obviously the music, but also the visual side of everything, of what all that is going to look like. And that's something that's just really exciting to me, something I really love.
I'm just as excited. Yeah, let's go. Cool. And, you know, one thing that we really love is like that Maiwan mentioned earlier is like you being really like an inspiration for a lot of females in the industry. So like given your experience, were there any like things you had to overcome or any like tips or advice that you would give aspiring artists and female artists out there?
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
Of course.
I think to any woman out there, follow your heart and keep going forward no matter what anyone says. Don't let anyone put you into a box or tell you what you are or who you are. Do what you want. Wear whatever you want. Act however you like.
Yeah.
And just
Act
keep
out.
going forward. Act out. Let's
I
go.
know.
Yeah, I think like for me early on in my career, it was just I felt like a lot of times I wasn't taken seriously as an artist, but I just kept going forward and I just kept doing me and kept following my heart and making the music that was right to me. And over time, that's just something that just came and worked out.
Yeah. People are always going to talk shit no matter what you do, right?
True. So we act out anyway.
Cool. Yeah. Is there anyone that you want to collab with? Well, I kind of mentioned, we kind of talked about that already, but you know, like we talked about your inspirations from the 90s. We talked about Britney Spears. Is there anyone in dance music that you look up to or you really want to collab with that you haven't had the chance to just yet?
Ooh, there are definitely a few.
Yeah.
I would love to make music with Chami. He's definitely someone that's just been very like inspiring to me early on. Chami, Skrillex, love Skrillex. He just has a very big influence on bass house music and the style of music that I make. And also Oliver Tree. I love Oliver Tree. I just love his music so much.
Cool. And given or with the best way you can describe yourself, and this is always a fun one, who is Nostalgix?
Who is Nostalgix? Ooh, that's a big question because Nostalgix is a lot of things.
All right, let's get started.
All right, I'm going to go in detail. I would say Nostalgix is about love, happiness, positivity, and joy. I know joy is like the same as happiness, but that's what I think of Nostalgix.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. I love that, like this vibrant, positive energy you always give out, not only in person, but in your music and your sets. It's always aggressive, like bass lines. And just, it's like everyone is definitely walking away like sweating and just like, wow, that was a
good time.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want. That's what I want my music to do, is give that energy, give that life, give that happiness, and have fans walking away being stoked and sweaty from dancing so much.
Yeah, that's right. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna move into like our fun section. We got like quick questions. Kind of want to ask you to know you a little more. Okay, first is you just moved to LA, so I definitely gotta ask, like, what has there been any like cultural or like LA things that you're just like, wow, like until like you moved here, you're like, okay, that is so LA. Like, you have any things?
I think I'm still figuring that stuff out.
Okay.
But I gotta say, LA is very different from Canada.
All right. How so?
It's way bigger.
Oh.
Like everything is massive, and there's something happening.
The people.
Places everywhere, everywhere.
Oh.
I feel like Canada's very laid back in a way. But in LA, everyone's like down to business. Everyone's going somewhere. Everyone's doing something.
You're from Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've been to Vancouver a couple times. I really
Isn't it beautiful.
The nature. I was just about to say, like even your guys' public parks, it's like out of this world. Like,
I know. It's just beautiful. Like you can go to the mountains, see the ocean, you see everything. Like you're near it all.
The air is super crisp, for sure. What about food? How about the LA food? What's been a go-to spot?
I've been touring quite a bit, so I haven't spent a lot of time in LA yet, actually.
True.
Which is funny enough. But I tried Jinya ramen out here.
Oh.
It was really good. I really like that.
Okay.
And someone showed me, is it Monty's
Good Burger?
Good Burger.
The
They're like
burger
vegan
place.
burgers.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Nice.
Really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of LA food. Whenever you're done with tour, you can definitely hit us up. We're like big foodies, so
Okay, yes.
depending on whatever type of food I have.
Where do I gotta go?
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah, but like, you know, just really depending on your mood. Like, want something like acai bowls are really fire.
Oh my gosh, I love acai bowls.
Yeah, because I know you like that healthy stuff. So.
True.
Like granola, right, or something like that.
Yeah. I just healthy food it hits. I like it.
Yeah, it puts you in a good
it.
mood. It gives you the healthy, I don't know, endorphins or something. Yeah. And how about? Do you have any favorite forms of entertainment now that you're on tour? Like, you probably have a lot of time on the plane or something to watch stuff or read.
I do like reading a lot, actually. I've been listening to a lot of like self-help audiobooks.
Okay.
And like actual books I've been reading.
Yeah.
I also I think my form of entertainment is honestly Ableton right now.
Yeah.
Just like making music.
It.
Whenever I have time, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna open up my laptop and make some more music.
That's awesome. That's great. I mean, you're doing both things at once, so that's great. Are you? Would you say you're like a good student back in the day?
Oh my gosh.
What
I was a great student.
Let them know.
I'll let him know. I was almost valedictorian in my class.
Wow.
Runner up.
Wow. Do you have a favorite subject or anything? Like, what did you like excel in or everything?
I was good at everything.
Wow.
But it was just because I enjoyed like I just enjoyed doing projects and like being good at doing things.
Oh, that's great.
I was always just on top of everything, I would say.
Yeah.
And I was also student council president and Free the Children. I was doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we got a leader up in here. Very studious as well. Guys can learn from her. And she's DJing now, so killing it. That's great. Yeah, we have some like, kind of like would you rather. So like, would you rather speak any language or play any musical instrument fluently?
Play any musical instrument fluently, for sure.
No hesitation on that one.
That'd be amazing.
What would you want to play? Like, what's an instrument that you would be like?
I think guitar. Because I tried it when I was younger, but I didn't continue it. So I'm like, if I could just shred, that would be so sick.
Sick. Me too. All right. Here's a time travel one. Is like not being able to come back after going, so it's a one-way trip. Would you rather time travel forwards or backwards?
Ooh, I think forward.
Okay.
Ooh.
Why is that?
Just because I feel like the world will be a bit further along, and I hope an even friendlier place.
You're curious, right?
I would like to see, like, will flying cars be a thing? Where will music be at?
Yeah,
Like,
I would think about that all the time. What's Ableton 20 gonna look like? You know.
But if you go back in time, you already know what's happened for the most part.
Yeah.
So.
But I could argue that if you go back far enough, you could see events that you read about.
Oh.
Because you're like, you know, like maybe because you like history or something.
Or if you go far back enough, maybe see some dinosaurs.
Hey.
Maybe.
I'm down. Cool. And then you've been traveling a lot, and I know you've been a really worldly person. And so, is there any place in the world that you haven't been to yet that you would love to travel to?
Ooh. I would love to spend some time in London.
Oh.
London seems amazing.
Yeah.
I would love to see the music scene out there.
Me too.
Yeah, like London.
Cool. All right. Well, here is a moment, big plug, promo moment for you to shout out everything that's going on, coming up.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
So I am on tour right now, so you can come see me at festivals, at club shows, anywhere. You can find all that information on my website at nostalgixmusic.ca or on all social media at nostalgixmusic.
Sweet. And any last words for all your fans, listeners, and is there anyone you'd like to shout out?
Shout out to my mom, first of all. Thanks for everything you've done. And thank you to all of you who support me and love me. I seriously would not be here without all of you guys, and it means the world to me. So thank you for supporting me, all the love, and I seriously love all of y'all.
Sweet.
Nice.
Thank you so much for
I
your
have a
time.
question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why Bass House?
Why Bass House? It's just something that stuck with me. When I went to my first show, I just fell in love with it because I am someone who loves all styles of music and all genres. And I feel like with Bass House, you get this energy that's just unmatched, and you have this freedom, like, to really take it anywhere. Like I could mess around with different genres, but still keep it bass house. And it's just
keep
really
that energy
cool.
going.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So there's just so much to do within bass house.
Right.
I feel like it just meets like all my needs of all the different
Explorations.
genres I like. Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Nice. Yeah, I'm always curious. Why did you choose that genre to produce? Yeah, because for me, I love bass music. The bass house is probably like my runner-up. So yeah, I'm just curious.
No, I love that because I think bass house is just one of those genres that it just has so much energy, and I love like good energy. Bass music too. So it has that like in between of like bass music and house.
And the
music.
house music. Yeah, exactly. I love it. All right. Dope.
Cool. Yeah, I think that wraps up our time on AOE Radio, Area of Electronic on Dash Dance X.
Yay.